Was at a picnic with some friends. 10 to 15 people turned into like 50 to 75 people within an hour. Enter extreme anxiety. Went up to get hot dog. Cute girl walks behind me to get one notice and starts sweating. Barbecue homie hands me my hot dog. So nervous I drop it right onto the cement. Didn't know to get another one, so picked it up with dirt all over it, took a bite and walked away. Asked a customer if her name was Kate, spelled with a Kate. I'm a retail cashier. A woman was buying a dress and humorously stated that she might be too fat for it. Me never one to disagree with the customer, smiled and said yup. I burned a few calories hitting my head on the counter after that exchange. One time when I was a kid, I was calling up a girl I liked to ask her if she wanted to hang out. Her mom answered the phone and in my awkward teenage bumbling I asked her mom if she wanted to hang out. I'm still not quite over that one nearly 10 years later. Climbed a tree to get away from people at an outdoor party. Stayed there until everyone left and then went home. The other day at my small office I went to the bathroom to fix my shirt which I had worn inside out. When I went into the stall the bathroom was empty. As I flipped my shirt around someone walked into the stall next to me. I also used some toilet paper to wipe my nose slight cold and dropped the paper in the bowl. This triggered the auto flush sensor and it flushed. My predicament began when I realized I also had 2 pee buds since I had already used toilet paper and flushed. My twisted mind decided this would seem really weird to the person next door. Why would someone use the bathroom flush and then stand up and pee again? Said no one ever, but I couldn't. They might recognize my shoes and know who I was. So instead I hatched a clever deception. I left the stall and washed my hands to seem normal despite that I hadn't even used the bathroom. After drying I walked loudly to the exit and opened the door into the hall. Then I said oh excuse me like I had accidentally bumped into someone else coming in and walked right back in. I made sure to change the sound of my footsteps walking more quietly so that stallman would think I was a different person and not some freak playing bathroom charades. Then I went to the urinal and peed and then washed my hands again using the farthest sink so he couldn't spot my shoes. TLDR. I faked an angry phone call because I was too afraid to just get out of line. I was picking up my little sister from school and I didn't have anything better to do and I didn't want her to have to wait on the long car line, so I got there 40 minutes early. About 5 minutes before school let out she told me she was going home with a friend. I was so scared that the people behind me in line would think I was creepy if I just left the line after all that time. So I pretended to be on the phone, got out of my car and rummaged through my trunk while acting like I was angry at the person on the other end of the call, complete with annoyed arm movements and all, then got back in and drove off. I'm from Ireland, a Catholic enough country. I deliver pizzas and one night a woman said God be with you as I was walking away and I stumbled over my words and said peace be upon you like the fecking pizza pope. Cringed pretty hard walking away as she just looked at me. Edit. Toppings be upon you my children. It was 3rd grade. I had a presentation the next day that I really didn't want to do, so I took a hammer and sat in the backyard trying to break my own ankle. I just ended up bruising it because I couldn't go full force. I once got off the wrong bus stop on purpose because I didn't want to tell the bus to stop, so I just waited for it to stop itself. Driving to a party. Sat outside of it in my car the entire time. Left. Next day, said I was there. This one time I was approached by a high school girl trying to get my contact info. I'm only 22, so I mean I guess I'm passable for just an older guy, but clearly you gotta say no, so me being a Reddit user said something stupid. I started to say sorry but I'm old enough to be your dad, but that was so dumb I changed it mid-sentence to sorry I'm old enough to be your brother, but that didn't make any sense, so what really came out of my mouth was sorry I'm old enough to be your brother's college roommate. And then we both stood there in that amazing what the fuck feeling you get when you're just overloaded with what the fuck. My girlfriend was a server at a restaurant called Bonefish and she was supposed to ask, have you ever dined at Bonefish, but instead she asked, have you ever boned at Dinefish? She was mortified but her customers thought it was hilarious. I was taking an oral Korean exam and my professor asked my name. I just stared at her with a look of horror because at that moment I forgot my name. She asked again in English and it took about a minute of silence for me to remember my name. Got a 95 at least. I was at Chipotle. The girl asked me how my day had been. I said large please because I got confused and thought she was asking what size I wanted. Then she asked if I wanted white rice or the other rice they had and I said yes. Oh boy, my stomach is sinking as I recall this. I did this twice in 1 week by the way. I went over to my friend's house and when his dad opened the door and said welcome I replied with yes welcome. This moment haunts me still. It's kind of long-winded but I hope it paints the picture. About 15 years ago I was a young teen browsing the electronics section of Walmart. As I was leaving that area this guy and girl around my age were coming into the electronics area. They saw me and both enthusiastically said hey like they were happy and surprised to see me. I didn't recognize them but I thought maybe we had a class together or something so I was like hey how's it going, feigning cheerfulness as I tried to place where I knew them from. They both looked at me weird and made a face then walked past me to a guy and girl behind me greeting them. I was so embarrassed and anxious I just got out of the electronics department as fast as I could without running and went to the next department over, which ended up being ladies clothing, the bra and panty area. A female employee came over and asked if I needed help looking at me confused because of the department. I was flustered and said sorry just trying to find electronics, to which she replied oh it's over this way, come with me. I didn't want to go back but now I was obligated so I followed her back and as we approached I saw the two teens I had their awkward interaction with and their two friends all look up and stare at me. Their Yago Hunt employee said then she started chatting with the cashier in electronics. At that time Walmart's electronics section was like a big square with only one opening for entrance and exit to deter theft. So now I'm trapped in this area with the people I just had their awkwardness with and their employee that just escorted me from women's clothes. I was so embarrassed and my whole body felt hot from anxiety. I just blankly stared at the video games behind the glass until the other people left and then I took off. On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, one lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, full race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted, looking for success, like I'm crazy and lost it.